Hey YouTube. Last time I asked for Halloween reads and I drew an entry out of a cup and it came out as Bedbugs by Ben H. Winters. I read Bedbugs and I read Salem's Lot by Stephen King for Halloween. So I read both of these around Halloween. It spilled over a couple days after, but it was really good. Both of them, they were really good reads. Bedbugs, I'll take that first. 250 pages, and it really didn't like grip the reader, or it really didn't grip me until about page 220. So there are a lot of places where the reader can get bored. It's a pretty good story, and the conclusion just like hits you all of a sudden. And if you saw it coming or not, it all wraps up in about 30 pages. And the climax happened on the last page of the book, and then there was an epilogue um, of like 3 pages for falling action and conclusion. But like, if I was writing this book, I would say, you know, I would add like 10 more pages, and there are a couple loose ends that the writer could have tied up or explained, or maybe he did that on purpose because it's supposed to be a mystery. Overall, it's a good read. It probably take 2 days for someone to just pick it up and read it. Probably take 2 days. And then I read Salem's Lot, which was slightly confusing because there's a character named Susan in both of those books, Salem's Lot by Stephen King and Bedbugs by Ben H. Winters. So Susan was that was kind of confusing, but maybe you're supposed to take a day break or 2 day or a week break between books. I I usually try not to do that. I usually try to roll right into the next one. So Salem's Lot next. Big jump because Bedbugs was 250 pages, and then Salem's Lot was like 650. Uh, I guess this was my first. So to start this was my first Stephen King novel, and I was told by a couple people that this was his best novel, but then I was told afterward that it really wasn't his best. Like, not that it was bad, but there are some that are better, and the Dark Tower series got brought up, so I don't know. I'll read more Stephen King. It was a pretty good book. It was about vampires that take over a small town. Um, that's not really a spoiler. You'll figure that out. But Stephen King is very thorough. He has many characters. There are about 30 characters that just kept being revisited throughout this book. And it was good. It was really good, and it kept you gripped. It was like he just knows how to end a sentence to keep you reading into the next sentence, and he knows how to end a paragraph. He knows how to end a chapter. I mean, I guess he's the king of horror writing for a reason. Great book. Don't read it at night if you can help it. But I have a great recommendation. Read read the last like 50 pages like I did. I was on a road trip, or it was approaching dusk, and I read the last 50 pages, and it was kind of like a rush, like a race to get through the book, like because a lot of things are happening, and the antagonist is fighting, and a lot of things are happening. Also, dusk with vampires. Vampires wake up after the sun goes down, and it was kind of like I was participating in the story, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, good book. I didn't think it would end the way it did. I thought somebody would do something they didn't do, and vice versa. Yeah, Stephen King, awesome. He keeps surprising me. Moving on. So those are my Halloween reads. And then I read another book. I didn't really read it. I did an audiobook because I have a long commute now. So I'm getting audiobooks, and I can knock out about a book every week and a half with that. So that's cool, and that's not just time wasted on the road. So I read The Collectors by David Baldacci. Baldacci? Baldacci? Baldacci. Yeah, Baldacci. And it was pretty good. I didn't know it at the time that I checked it out, but it's the second book in the Camel Club series. So now I'm gonna have to go back, read the first book, get introduced like thoroughly to the characters of the Camel Club, and I think that'll be a series. I think I'm just going to pick up on that series from David Baldacci because I've been trying to get into a David Baldacci book and possibly a series. So, and it seemed pretty good. And if you can stay engaged in an audiobook, one, the story's great, and two, the narrator's pretty great. So, pretty good. Good job. In the comments below, let me know of your favorite audiobook, if you do audiobooks every now and then or whatever. But favorite narrator, because that can make or break the audiobook, from what I've heard. Yeah, or give me your general opinion down in the comments below. Thank you. So that was pre-Thanksgiving wrap up. So from my last video to Thanksgiving. Now, from Thanksgiving to the end of the year, my TBR. So first, I won something I thought I would never win. It's a Goodreads giveaway. It was freaking, like, surprised me and made my week, really. It was great. And it's an author that I'm pretty excited to get into. So John Irving came out with Avenue of Mysteries. I won this like a week ago. Just started, maybe like 20 pages in. Just started it last night. But I'm going to read this, give Simon & Schuster Publishing a review, as well as Goodreads. Thank you so much, Simon & Schuster. I'm not taking this for granted. I really will. I'll cherish this giveaway, cherish this book and story. Thank you, John Irving, as well. And then, John Grisham, Skipping Christmas. I've been trying to get into John Grisham's little books. He calls them his little books if they're not a legal thriller, like Playing for Pizza, Calico Joe, Skipping Christmas. So I'm gonna read this in lieu of the holidays. I heard it was pretty good. I mean, it's one of his little books, so you can read it in like a day, and yeah, they're pretty good. Kind of cool little stories. Gonna read that. A book that I've started but haven't finished. This was recommended to me by a friend. It's about Christian faith. It's about the Christian faith. So I like learning about that, and I will give it a try. It's called Broken by Jonathan Fisk. Next, Play Dead by Harlan Coben. I think it was his first novel, and I didn't know it. It's not like a Myron Bolitar or Mickey Bolitar series. It is just, it's his first book, and I just started it on audiobook, and it's about a basketball player, an NBA Celtics basketball player. He goes missing. His widow, he was on his honeymoon, and he goes missing, and his widow goes, she's grieving, she goes to his funeral, and then things from his past start popping up. It's pretty crazy, kind of cool. I'm a little ways through it. Really kind of caught me off guard because before the book starts, there's a section that Harlan Coben put in there when he started republishing it, and he's apologizing for the book, but I don't see why, because it's a pretty good story, pretty good book, pretty well written, which is Harlan Coben's style. So yeah, Harlan, don't be so hard on yourself. It's a good story. I'll let you know how it goes, and I'll have enough room before the end of the year to get one more audiobook in. So let me know in the comments below. Make me a recommendation, and I will read it. Well, I will listen to it on my way to work, so I won't necessarily really read it, but I will listen to it on audiobook. Just give me your comments, give me your recommendations in the comments below, and yeah, I'll give it a try. So in my last video, I said that I would try to make this a weekly thing. That is just, oh, life is so busy, and it keeps getting busier. So I'm going to shoot for a monthly thing, wrap up TBR combination, and I'm going to shoot for quality videos instead of quantity. So thank you. Leave comments below and let me know how I'm doing.